Call this meeting to order, determine that there's a quorum present, Commissioner Wardlaw, Commissioner Vasquez, Commissioner Nettleton, Commissioner Flores, and myself. We do have a quorum. If y'all will please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Commissioner Flores.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to the United States, one nation, under God, one indivisible.
That was close.
We don't know that one.
Lisa just looked at me and said we forgot to sign it.
Here's your sign.
There's your sign. If y'all don't mind, item 5, we have on here a moment of silence for the 21 individuals who lost their lives on May 24, 2022 in the Uvalde Robb Elementary School shooting. So if y'all don't mind, if we just have a moment of silence. Thank y'all. Item 6, approving minutes. Approved.
Second.
Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner. Is that right? Commissioner Flores. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 7, citizens' comments. We had one. Are you ready?
Yes, sir.
You'll bring me the paper? You'll bring it to me, sir, please. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Mr. Maldonado?
Yes. I'm up here, I haven't been able to make these meetings for a while, and, from my understanding, most of y'all have gone back to wanting the bridge up in Lake Bridge area. This is in regards to the point of entry, the new point of entry.
Can you repeat that?
This is in regards to the new point of entry, that y'all are wanting to go back to the Las Brisas area for it coming into. So I'm here to ask what's going on. Like I said, I haven't been here.
We're not gonna be able to respond for the citizens' comments, but if you wanna talk to me after the meeting, I'll visit.
Is there a reason why not, if I may?
The law doesn't allow, this is not a communication back and forth. You can make comments that you're not permitted to discuss to the one. That's the only meeting.
I'm sorry, sir?
That's under the Open Meetings Act.
Okay, so I'll get with you afterwards if then. All right, thank you.
Okay. I'm gonna go to judges' comments real quick because towards the end, people have a tendency not to listen to us at the very end. But, we have a ribbon cutting, Commissioner, Wardlaw at the Jesse T. Cardenas Park. It's on Broadbent. It's across the street from, Southwick Cemetery. So I just wanted to put it out. It's Friday at 9 o'clock. It's something that, if the community has a chance to go by and visit. And I think we'll be having several of these coming up on different events at different precincts. This is gonna sort of kickstart this. But again, I wanted to mention it now before the end of the meeting.
Thanks, Judge.
On Friday, this Friday, and where's Elizabeth thing here? I want to thank her, I guess on behalf of Commissioner Wardlaw. She's doing an amazing job trying to put this thing together. So, that's what I had, but I'm sure I'll talk later on.
We only get one.
I want to get one. Item 8, approving monthly report.
Motion to approve is presented.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 9, approving bills for payment.
Motion to approve.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second, Commissioner Vasquez. Who's second?
Yes, sir.
Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 10, presentation of fiscal year 2023 annual comprehensive financial report by independent auditors, Casco and Associates. Did I get that right? I hope, DC.
Honorable Judge, Mayors of the County Commission, my name is Carlos Cascos. We are with Cascos and Associates, and we met with the audit committee yesterday to go over the audit. But just, I'm going to have Alfred Vera go over it with you if you'd like, but before you have the audit report, then you also have a summary. That first page capsulizes and summarizes the audit, highlights days of operations, revenues, expenditures. Behind that, you'll have some pie charts that also helps you identify the various funds within the county government and gives you those numbers. So with that, let me introduce Alfred Vera, who was the manager in charge on the job, and he'll be ready to answer any specific questions that y'all may have. Thank you, Judge.
Good morning, Judge, members of the Commission. I'm Alfred Vera, and I am the audit manager with Cascos and Associates. I was also the in charge for this year's audit again, and I want to thank Mr. Matt Weingart and his team and all of the employees that provided all the information that we use to be able to form our opinion. So thank you for making our job that much easier. For those of you that may not be familiar with an audit, as independent auditors, we go through, we select samples, and we review your policies, we test those samples against the policies, and we form an opinion based on what we find. And then with that opinion, it is either modified or unmodified, and we provide any findings that we find during that testing. And I want to congratulate Valverde County for again earning an unmodified opinion, which is a clean opinion or the best opinion that any entity can get. And the reason I say earned, because that is by the work that you all do here as a commission and by the employees of the county. So congratulations on earning that again this year.
They say flattery will get you nowhere. Yeah, right.
It's always nice to hear that. So I'll just touch on a few items on the financials, and then I'll present to you your days of operation. So if you'll turn with me real quick to the balance sheet on page 30. The balance sheet on page 30 contains the assets, liabilities, deferred flow of resources, and the fund balances for the county for the year ended September 30th, 2023. Now, I'll be focusing on the general fund for today's purposes, and at September 30th, 2023, the county had total assets of $33,622,000, liabilities of $20,640,000, and an unassigned fund balance of $6,316,000. Now, keep this number in mind because I will be using that for your days of operations. Now, if you'll turn over a few pages to page 33. Page 33 contains your statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balances. Again, I'm looking at the general fund. For the year ended September 30th, 2023, Valverde County had total revenues of $21,824,000, total expenditures of $21,915,000. Now, if we take your total expenditures of the $21,915,000 and we divide that by 365 days, you get $60,040. That is what on average it is taking the county to open its doors each and every day. And if we take your unassigned fund balance of $6,316,000 and we divide that by the $60,040, you get 105 days. Now that means that the county would be able to operate for 105 days if no more money would be coming in. So that's a very good number. We normally recommend between 60 and 90 days for an entity. So this is good. You all are above that. And we also recommend that this be used for one-shot items, such as maybe the purchase of equipment, repairs, things like that. We do not recommend that you use it for reoccurring, because you will eventually deplete it. But congratulations on maintaining that healthy days of operation. And the last two items that I will touch on, if you'll turn all the way to page 160. Page 160 contains the independent auditor's report on internal controls and financial reporting and compliance on an audit in accordance with government's auditing standards. Again, based on what we have reviewed and what we have tested, our opinion is not changed on this as well. This means that you all, from what we have tested, are following policies and have good internal controls based on what we have tested. And 2 pages over, on page 162, you have the independent auditor's report on compliance for each major program and on internal control over compliance required for the uniform guidance and the Texas grant management standards. This is what we refer to as the single audit. And for the federal and state programs, this is also an unmodified opinion. So congratulations on earning that as well. These are all the items that I was going to touch on today. If you all have any specific questions or anything that you would like to go over.
I don't. I think even this fiscal year, looking at I'm just gonna bounce around. In the fiscal year that we're in right now, because of the interest that we've been getting paid, in the fiscal year that we're in right now, because of the interest that we've been paid, there's gonna be even more money that we couldn't have budgeted. I'm gearing up for next year because there's going to be funds in there that we couldn't have budgeted because of the interest rate. I mean, we're making pretty good interest right now on the money that we have, and I think that was one of the little things that helped us with these days here was our interest rate at the end of it was helping us. So.
It is. That was one of our, I don't want to say unbudgeted, but under budget. We didn't anticipate holding ARPA as long as we have. We do get to keep that interest, and interest rates are at somewhat historic highs unless you lived in the 70s, which many people probably did. So,
and when we get into to approving the financial or the auditors, the treasurer's report, when you look at that, even we've done a pretty good job. I think there was a couple of months, like 2 months ago, 3 months ago, like we had a lot of money in the bank. And right now, when you look at this one, there's been more money invested in the tax class.
yeah, that's typically what we like to. We like to keep only around 10% in operating accounts. The other 90% we like to keep invested around 5%.
A couple of months ago, that number at the banks was a little bit higher than normal. I think we were trying to figure out where to put it, which tax pool or tax class. But I think y'all have done a really good job moving it and keeping what we absolutely need in the banks, but making sure that the rest of the money is working for us, I guess is what I was getting at, so.
That's true.
Matt,
Yes.
how much money do we have left in ARPA?
Approximately today, those figures are, I would say 3.2.
When does it need to be spent by?
It needs to be spent or contracted by December 31st.
Of this year?
Of this year. So we do not want to be an entity that has to send money back. So we need to ramp up the contracts or get plans or just get that spending going.
What we can do is, like what we've done with here recently with Operation Lone Star, also part of those funds, we've got a meeting, we can do the same thing with ARPA, maybe we have.
We're gonna have to, it should be a little bit easier because we're not gonna be restricted by the spending, like the OLS is very restricted. ARPA is not gonna be as restricted.
Can you get us for the next meeting, that total exact amount and where it is at right now, so we know where those expenditures need to be made?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Anybody have any concerns or questions on the audit?
Motion to approve as presented.
Second.
A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores. Did you get your thing turned in for the award? Did you get it?
I did. It got turned in time.
Did it? Did we fix some of the grammar or something?
About 20 minutes ago. No, let's hope they focus on numbers. All right.
So we should be good. And I'm gonna ask y'all a question,
and he's here, so how's our auditor doing? I got the audit, but how's our auditor doing?
He's doing good. It's a pleasure to work with him. Anything that we need, he provides that or his team. So it's good.
Okay. I want to thank you. When you look at where we've come from and I'm not throwing rocks at the courts before this because they did an amazing job also. We always had a little bit of money left over. And I wasn't here when the county wasn't able to write checks sometimes. We weren't here to do that. I think you were here. But the progress that this county has made, it's unbelievable. I think when we first came in with, right after Mr. Judge Fernandez, I mean, there was some money, we had a fund balance. And then we had money and interest in sinking, and then couldn't use it, and went to the general fund, and the process started a little bit. But it's amazing, the dollars. And like you said, right now, in our next fiscal year, we might have some funds, and very little funds, I'm gonna say, before the sheriff's eyes get big and all the department's eyes get big, maybe to do some one-time expenditures, some capital expenditures. Not much, but we'll see how the tax rate and everything comes out. Or not the tax rate, but the appraised values. We've already got a preliminary on those, and don't look like they've gone up a heck of a whole lot. Unless you're a citizen. Well, unless you're a citizen.
Come on.
You're right.
And that's one thing.
Preliminary.
That the court should express to the citizens how much work this court has done in procuring those grants to help offset some expenditures.
Since we're on the grant deal, what is our ratio from grants to general fund?
Well, the general fund in revenue is probably 21, the grants were 17, but if we just take property taxes and grants, you are almost dead even as far as grant revenue versus property tax revenue. So if those grants, well, we have 40 some grants, if those grants were to dry up, you'd have to double your tax rate in order to keep the services that you're currently providing.
There's just a lot of comments out there that we don't apply for enough grants. I
Oh, my
want
goodness.
the public to know that we do apply for a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
would-
grants. I'm not saying there's not more, but we do apply for a lot of grants.
I would challenge any entity to open it, someone to grab an entity that takes in more grant revenue in a percentage basis for their tax revenue. It's going to be hard to find an entity that has as much as y'all do.
Well, I appreciate that comment. Like Commissioner Nettleton said, there's a lot of people out there that, we should go after more grants, and naturally, the answer is always yes, we should. But we've done a really good job, the different departments and everything have done a really good job, Carl, thank you, going after a lot of grants. And when you say that what we collect in taxes for the general fund and our grants are almost dead even, that's pretty impressive.
Intergovernmental revenue, yes, that's right.
We have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Ashidi, thank y'all very much. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Is that the quickest one that y'all have done?
I'm sure they've done some where they didn't even talk.
Okay. Item 11, discussion possible action to approve auditor's report. Second. A motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 12, discussion possible action to approve the following certification of revenue, Texas Association of Counties, $12,594.
Is that the money we got for the truck?
That is the money that we got for the equipment in the truck.
Just the equipment?
Yes, sir. Whatever was in the truck, the welder, and Armando actually given us a list. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second. Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item B, Crown Recycling Company, 16680, building maintenance, sale of truck, fire damage.
Second.
I have a motion, okay, just a minute. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Wardlaw. Yes, sir.
Item B, was that truck full of air or what? I mean, $66.80. Didn't weigh nothing or?
Well, they waited, so if there's a concern about the weight, probably need to bring it up with Crown Recycling. I have a motion, is there anything else, Commissioner?
No, that's it. I just want to bring that
Commissioner Vasquez, I made a motion, Commissioner Wardlaw seconded, all in favor? Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item C, Jose H. San Miguel, $100 library.
Move.
Second.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 13, discussion possible action to approve the following budget adjustments. A, transfer 10,000 from county clerk travel and training to county clerk office supplies.
Is this general fund or special fund?
It's general fund.
Have a motion?
I'll make a motion, but it's a lot of money.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item B, transfer $800 from office supplies budget to travel and training budget for upcoming 20-hour civil process training that is mandated by TCOS.
And this is a special fund?
And this is in Constable 1, Precinct 1, I'm sorry.
Yes, it is.
Motion to approve.
There was no, in those funds?
This is,
Real quick,
yeah,
okay.
special ed.
Let me get a motion. I have a motion, Commissioner Flores,
Second.
second, Commissioner Vasquez. Yes, sir, I'm sorry, Commissioner.
There was no lead on this funds?
Well, this is inside a special revenue fund that captures those legal funds.
Okay.
It's just moving from operating to travel.
We good? All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Discuss, item 14, discussion possible action to treasurer's report.
Move.
Second. A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. And like I said a little while ago, it's been pretty impressive, looking at, the audit, the treasurer's report, that we managed to move money. I know that there was a little lull there when you look at the money, sitting, but over the last 2 or 3 meetings, we moved more money out to be invested. So I want to thank y'all, and Aaron's not here. I want to thank, Aaron, our treasurer, thank both y'all, thank y'all so much. I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 15, discussion possible action to set aside hot funds for the Del Rio Little League. Last year, we gave $3,800.
Motion to approve 3800.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 16, discussion possible action on appointing an ADA coordinator. We, we received a survey that we needed to fill out, and this is what got this ball rolling again. We answered it. We'll have, sir?
We're on 16.
We're on 16. No, I read 16. Don't confuse me. It's bad enough as it is. You throw a wrench into it, we'll just have to stop. On item 16, this is the one we're on right now.
I'll make a motion to appoint, Joanna as the ADA coordinator.
I will second that.
Okay, I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Vasquez. And the reason that that this is Joanna is a better idea than putting it in the judge's office is that we'll have a little bit more stability, with Joanna, there. If you do the judge's office and you get somebody else come in, they're trying to catch up as assistant, to the county judge. So this way, we've got somebody here that's constant, I hope. Sir.
I've got a question.
Yes, sir.
What are the responsibilities of this coordinator? I mean, the definition as to what is
She will handle our ADA compliance. Bottom line is, with putting it in that office, she'll have help from Carlos, our engineer, to make sure that the buildings that can be ADA compliant, and there's some that we're gonna try real hard, but we're just not gonna be able to meet. There's some elevators that are already grandfathered in.
So at the end of the day, when they don't meet standards or whatever.
It comes to us. It comes to the court. The court will have to approve everything. Did that answer your question, Commissioner?
It did.
Again, between HR, and Carlos, I sat there, but between HR and Carlos, there was a lot of questions answered over the last 2 surveys that were sent out. There was a lot of work done, when Mr. Padilla was here. There was some work done, and we actually had a policy that would come to the court. We looked at it, and that was something that we got sent back out. So we have a starting point versus just trying to start from scratch. We have a document that's in place. There's gonna be another item here further along, to see about ADA compliance, to send a member of every department to some training, to get that done too, to comply with that. We good? Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 17, discussion possible action on UCO. Second. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 18, discussion possible action to allow. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Item 19, discussion possible action on Texas unclaimed property capital credits. There ought to be a deal in y'all's packet as to what the money can be used for if we get it. I'm not real sure right now, and they're looking into what the totals are gonna be, but we need to go ahead and have court action in order to be able to apply.
Motion to apply.
Second. A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Flores, all those in favor?
What would that
Aye.
amount to, Judge?
Sir?
What would that amount to?
That's just it, I don't know, they're working on the exact dollar amount until we apply for it. I won't-
Millions?
No.
50 bucks.
We don't, all that is just the deposits that have been surrendered over the past 10 years. Sometimes, the last check was $13,000 and.
It wasn't there.
Anything else?
Yeah, there was one county northwest that got over $100,000 simply because there was an organization that had to surrender their property and their deposits, got surrendered as well.
We don't have nobody like that.
No.
All right, thank you, Matt. Item 20, discussion possible action to approve the following names to fill vacancies presently on the Valverde County Child Welfare. Motion to approve.
Second, Judge.
Motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 21, discussion possible action to request amended number 2 to Colonia SHC, contract number CSH22 dash. A motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second.
What's his amendment concern?
He's got a question.
I need to.
I need a second.
Yeah, I need to.
I'll second that for discussion.
Commissioner Flores, yes, sir.
Good morning, Judge, Commissioners. I'm Rob Stevenson, and I run the Valverde Self-Help Center for y'all. And the amendment, if I can basically break it down, when you apply for $1 million contract, there are several budget line items. Some are set minimums and maximums by the state, such as administration of public services. Other ones we get to set the budget for, such as rehabilitation and housing reconstruction. When you estimate about $400,000 for rehabilitation, $400,000 for reconstruction, you don't always know how many houses you're going to be able to do, what the bids are going to be, what the market rates are going to turn out to be. So when I get to near the end of the contract, and I've only got $30,000 left in one of those line items, I got to move some money from one of the line items to be able to finish the job. So that's what you're looking at. So we'll be moving $30,000 from reconstruction, so we can do one more reconstruction.
Thank you. Any other questions? Commissioner Flores, you keep your second.
Yes, sir. I'll take my second.
All those in favor? Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 22, discussion possible action on setting aside funds from available appropriations to dispose of tires. I know that y'all are getting there's more tires being dumped, and y'all are picking them up. I'd like to set aside probably around $5,000 per precinct, which amounts to one trailer, and the drop-off.
Motion.
I'll second that for discussion. Where does this money come from?
We're gonna get it out of contingency.
Oh, okay. I thought it came from.
Comes from precinct 1.
If I make sure, we do have funding left in the Self Center contracts for tires.
Do you have, 20,000?
We had $8,000 per precinct.
per precinct, so 8 plus 5, 13 would be great. Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of cars out there, you know.
They cost,
They're expensive.
yeah, well, it's $30-some odd $100 a deal. That's what.
And we use it when we need it.
Yeah, it's $4,000 for the trailer, and then $550 for the trailer drop-off fee. So, right now, you're saying there's 8,000 per precinct, and I'm wanting you to be on, to say it in the microphone, that way we get it.
Yes, sir, we have 8,000 per precinct out of the new contract that y'all haven't even touched yet. And I'm sorry, I didn't come prepared to figure out exactly how much you've got left in the old contract, but there's a little bit there, so it's at least
Well,
8,000.
now you've opened up another can of worms.
Yes, sir,
Could we get those dollar amounts? That way we know which way we're running.
absolutely.
So there's $8,000 per precinct, which would do, well, you'd be $1,000 short of having 2 trailer loads. What do y'all want to do?
Let's
Y'all
get
want
the
to go?
totals from this one and the last one and see if you have enough for 2.
Yeah.
Okay, and not touch anything
And
right
not
now?
touch anything here.
You, withdraw your motion? Withdraw. Y'all want to table this? That motion,
Motion to table, Judge?
Commissioner Vasquez?
Yeah, let's get some good numbers, that way.
Second, Commissioner Nettleton. If you will get us those dollar amounts,
Yes, sir.
and not only that, heck with the dollar amounts, after you get us the dollar amounts, how do we start using it?
Great.
The process. You need to get to the commissioners, the process that it would take for them to be able to start ordering a trailer in order to be able to pick up tires.
Wonderful. I'll work with Melissa to make sure that happens. Y'all have been taking advantage of the solid waste that's in there. It just trickles in some precincts more so than others.
So we,
And it's the county auditor's office that chooses which precinct.
Again, if you could get us those dollars, that are left, sort of divided by 4, that way each one knows how much they have in order to be able to use, and get us that process so they can begin. I know that you've got, well, all of them got piles of tires.
Great.
But if you could get that to us for the weeks out.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. All those in favor of the table?
All right.
Anybody against? That's easy. Item 23, discussion possible action for revision of plat or replat, vacating setback lines and establishing lots D, E, F, Block 22, Valverde Park Number 2, out of Lot 19, Block 22, Valverde Park Number 2, previously recorded in Volume 2, page 68 of the map of records of Valverde, County, Texas.
everything is good on there, Mr. Carter? Okay.
This replat is proposed by Amistad Consulting Services. The owner is Enrique Fuentes Garcia. This proposal consists in vacating the setback lines for the preceding plat and the previous, lot 19, and then proposing the lot D, E, and F. And they're already served by city water and city sewer. And this is located within the ETJ of the city of Del Rio, so I will need to get the city planner signature on this one.
Motion to approve.
Second. Motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 24, discussion possible action on approval of plat establishing Lot 1, Wells Estate subdivision out of A 79.278 acre tract, survey 14 GC.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I've got a question. Where is this located at? I mean,
Houston Street. Houston Street out by the lake.
Any other questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Discussion possible action on update of the Alcoa soccer fields.
Good morning, Judge. Good morning, Commissioners. I'm trying to present something on the screen, but I cannot connect. So, Alcoa Field Soccer Project, the irrigation is complete. The contractor intention was to complete last week, but we noticed some fine grading that needed to go back. So they were doing the last weekend. Yesterday, they were putting in the hydro mulch. And then we encountered some of the gravels that were on the ditches, so they needed to go back and take them up. So the plan is for them to install the hydro mulch. Yes, it was yesterday, today, and tomorrow, and they will be completed by the end of this week. I received a request on Monday to extend one more week on the project, and I'm going to put it on the agenda. But the idea is just to finish this week and then put it, to leave it rest for one month, for the whole month of June, and it will be complete after that. I have a video, but I cannot connect. I can send it to you. So if you can extend 1 week, or should I just move it on the next agenda because the contractor was due on the 18th?
We don't have an item
To do anything.
to do anything.
No.
Well, I was hoping for a big week.
I thought we had granted the judge some authority to do contract amendments up to certain amounts and stuff.
We did.
Can he do that, and then we can come back and ratify it at the next meeting, that way we can extend it?
Do that. That it? No action needs to be taken on this. I got up right now and I was laughing because I looked out the window and there was a duck on top of the tree. It's like, I think he's lost. He can't find no water.
Judge, you gonna save that tree? Are you gonna save that tree? Huh? What?
That tree.
What?
It's what?
It's been dead for how long?
It's point of order, point of order. Well, we heard you. I wouldn't. All right. No action needs to be taken on 25, item 26. Discussion possible action authorizing county judge to sign easement and right-of-way agreement for AEP to install power line at the precinct. Second. Then motion, Commissioner Vasquez. Second. Who was it? Second, Commissioner Flores. Wardlaw first.
Wardlaw.
Oh, second, Commissioner Wardlaw. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries. Thank you, sir. Item 27, discussion possible action to approve the addition of two. Second. Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 28, discussion possible action to approve the addition of Spectrum Internet. Second. Have a motion, Commissioner Middleton, second, Commissioner Flores. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 29, discussion possible act to join text line.
I'll ask again on these items, can we do these in a consent agenda? Instead of having to go through each one of them.
Yeah, Liz with him. On item 29, the county attorney still needs to review. Can that be part of the motion?
Motion to approve county attorney review.
I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 30, discussion possible action to approve the extension.
Motion to approve.
Irrigation. I have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second, Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 31, discussion possible action for approval to declare. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second, Commissioner Nettleton. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 32, discussion possible action to approve the purchase of a John Deere 544P tier front end loader, precinct 2, in the amount of. Second.
Judge, before y'all make a motion, I need to.
I have a motion, I have a second, Commissioner Flores, and then Melissa needed to add something because there
The
was a change.
contact number that's listed there is not correct. The correct contact number is 011-723-JDC.
With that, second, first accepts, motion accepts.
Motion accepts change.
Second accepts. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 33, discussion possible action to approve the purchase of an F-250 service truck. So motion, Commissioner Vasquez. Second. Who can say?
Second.
Second.
Are we deducting $168 from this amount?
Oh, but I do have something for that one because you asked the question the last time. How much money did we get? Between the building, the truck, the equipment and everything, there's about $216,000 there. The truck was about $33,000. Is what we got from the truck, $33,000 and change. So the money, the last quart, we said it was gonna use insurance money, so whatever the difference is between the 33,000 and the 60,000, that would come out of the insurance money that was actually a lot, that we got paid because of the fire. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Nettleton, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 34, discussing possible action to have a training for an assigned employee from each department on ADA compliance. I have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez, second Commissioner Nettleton, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 35, discussion possible.
Motion to approve consent.
I have a motion, Commissioner Flores, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 36, discussion possible action to authorize Sheriff Joe Frank Martinez. Have a motion, Commissioner Vasquez. Second, Commissioner Nettleton. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 37, discussion possible action to ratify authorization for the county attorney to accept $200 gift card from HEB. Have a motion, Commissioner Nettleton.
Second, Judge.
Commissioner Vasquez. All those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0. Item 38, closed session consultation pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.071, parentheses 2, attorney-client privilege, 551.1, parentheses 1, parentheses 8, contemplated litigation, 5C, 551.072, regarding the purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property, possible action, open session thereafter. D, 551.073, regarding a negotiated contract, lease, or value of real property and possible action in open session thereafter. E 551.076 regarding security devices, security audits, and or security personnel. If y'all will give us the room, we'll take a little 5-minute break and then come back. Make sure that all the mics are turned off. Ready? Court come back into session. It's 10:03. We just came out of executive session. No action was taken. Item 39, commissioners' comments. Item 40, county judges' comments, none. Item 41, motion to adjourn. Motion, Commissioner Nettleton, second Commissioner Vasquez, all those in favor? Aye. Anybody against? Motion carries 5-0 to adjourn. Y'all have a great day.
Commissioner Nettleton?